Okay, it's working. Okay. Hey guys, what's up? This video is a second version. The first one that I made is it got corrupted. I couldn't upload it, so it's I have to do it over. So that's what I'm doing. So this is the first time Raymond had come to me after he passed. So the event that I'm going to share with you now happened December, not this past one of 2018. It happened December of 2017. So Raymond passed away in November. The following month, my wife and I went down to our condo in Mexico, and this is when this happened. So this happened a month after Raymond passed, December of 2017. Okay, so my wife and I get down there, and we set up. We got there. We got settled in, and we set up to hang out in the back patio, which is right on the water. So I got all the wood for the fire. It was a little bit chilly, and I got the wood for the fire. And then I needed, my wife couldn't find the lighter, you know, the little thing. So she's like, babe, it's in the back, go get it. So kind of in the back where we park is our closet, and I had to go to the storage to get the lighter thing. So I go back there. Now let me pause. So in this particular cabinet, I have two stickers, and one is of a Starship Trooper from Star Wars, and one is of Darth Vader. And the reason I mentioned that, because it's kind of important. So we've been going to Mexico for years. We've had this for years, and Raymond never came with us. He never came with us, not once. He never even seen the condo, if you can believe that. So about a year and a half, 2 years before this, Raymond passed away, we had invited him. We would always invite him, but he would never go. This particular time, he goes, yeah, I'm down to go. So I was kind of excited because he's finally going to come with us. And then like 2 hours later, he comes. I was getting ready in my room, and he comes up to me. He goes, hey, man, I'm sorry I can't make it, but I'm going to give you these two stickers in the meantime, just to make up for it, just as a silly joke. As you can tell, this is Raymond's cabinet. He just loves stickers. He has a lot of cool stickers. So he goes, I'll give you these, as a consolation thing. So I said, okay, that's fine. What I'll do is I'll put them up in our storage, and every time I go down there, I'll think of you. So you'll be there with us in spirit. I told him that. So fast forward 2 years, now Raymond passed away. We're in Mexico. Now I'm going to the back. So I go to the back, I open it up, and I see the stickers. And all of a sudden, this shit's real now, because now I'm thinking of Raymond, and I go, shit, Raymond, man, I really, really miss you. Now I was in kind of like our storage room. It's not very wide, maybe 3 feet, 4 feet by 10 feet. And so when I said, Raymond, I really, really miss you, I got freaking, all of a sudden I started to feel like this energy, like this light coming into my body. And I was just overwhelmed. And thank God it's not very wide, because it's very overwhelming. So I had to hold myself and kind of fall down to my knees. We had some fishing poles and other junk there, and some chairs. So I was kind of able to hold myself, but I literally had to hold myself up against the wall, because these things happen. If you see my other videos, when these events happen, it is beyond. I just can't control it. It's really, really powerful stuff. So I fell to my knees, and then I could feel Raymond come to me, and then all of a sudden I saw a picture, a 5x7 of a father and a son. Now I'm going to pause really quick to tell you something. So after Raymond passed away, Raymond was my stepson. I've been with Karina for about 20 years, but I met her when Raymond was like 4 years old. So at this time, Raymond, I think he was 23 when he passed. So I've known, I pretty much, been with him forever. So after he passed, as I was kind of curious, because about a year and a half, we were bumping heads a lot. Nothing major, but, typical father-son shit, get a job, what are you going to do? You're going to, typical father-son 101 shit, And so Raymond was talking about moving to Northern California during that same time. So then I said to myself, you know what? I need to stop getting mad and getting upset with what he does with his life. It's his life, and he's going to do whatever he wants to do. It's his life. Who am I to say? So I really stopped letting that bother me, because I knew one day he's going to move, and he's probably not going to come back. So I said, let me just stop letting this shit bother me, and just whatever. Just play the cards. Just be a dad, and, let him live his life. So I stopped letting it bother me. And so for the last year and a half, 2 years, there was no more friction. We got along great. So when he passed, I always had this doubt. Like, I wasn't sure how he felt about me. Because, guys aren't really affectionate, They're not going to tell you, oh, I love you, this and that. I would always say, I love you, son, stuff like that. But I didn't really know how he felt about me. And I'll be honest with you, I wasn't sure if he was mad at me or, pissed off at me or whatever. I just didn't know. And then I started to get kind of curious. I'm like, shit, how did Raymond feel about me? Did he hate me? Did he love me? What was going, These are things that I think they're pretty naturally occurring when an event like this happens. So that's the background. And he knew that it was bothering me. And it's funny because I knew that he knew. Now, I haven't made the other videos yet, I think, but I've had other friends who've passed away who have also come to me in different situations. And Raymond knew that about me, that had happened to me, and I knew that he was going to come to me sooner or later. I just knew it because this was weighing heavy on me, and Raymond wouldn't let that happen without addressing it. Back to the picture. So I'm looking at the picture, and it was a 5x7, but it was shot vertically, not horizontally. And then it was a picture of a father and a son, and the son was a little boy, and he was like on his dad's leg, and he was hugging his dad's leg, like the inside like this. And so Raymond wanted me to know that he loved me like a little boy loves his father, so that he really loved me. And the funny thing is that the picture was cut in half like this. So I couldn't see the guy's face. And the understanding was that even though you weren't my biological dad, I still loved you like a son loves his dad. And that was beautiful. That's the image that I got. When I got the download from Raymond, the first thing was that picture. And then he told me, hey, I know this has been bothering you. This is how I really felt. So he kind of squashed that right away. After that, Raymond had a tremendous green thumb. After that, I saw that image. And by the way, this is all very, very emotionally powerful, emotionally charged feelings and events. After that, I saw kind of like a small garden. And then I saw Raymond playing there with like 6 or 7 other people. And Raymond had a flannel shirt, jeans, and Converse. And in this vision, he was actually a lot younger. Well, not a lot younger, but he was younger than when he passed away. So I say he was like between 16 and 19, but he wasn't 23 years old. And the thing is, I had never, ever seen Raymond so happy like I did in this vision. He was like a combination of a kid who's happy on Christmas and his birthday at the same time. He was just ecstatic. He was really happy, and he was in this garden environment with really cool people just like him. And so he literally said to me, tell mom to stop crying and stop feeling sorry for me. As a matter of fact, I feel sorry for you guys because you guys are still there. He said those words to me over on the other side. And it was just overwhelming. It was so emotionally charged. I fell down and I just started bawling. Because at that same time, he was giving me a message, but he also healed me. So now, unbeknownst to me, I don't know how much time had passed, but all of a sudden here comes my wife. She's like, babe, what's up with the fire? And I was like, oh my God. I was like, babe, Raymond came to me. I'm talking to her, and I'm just trying to compose myself. And, what is she supposed to say to that? She's like, whatever. And I don't know. There's really no response to that. So she goes, well, babe, come on, because it's cold. I want to start the fire. So she goes back out to the patio. I compose myself and I go out. I start the fire. Mentira. Before I start the fire, I say, babe, you're not going to believe what happened. So I go out to the patio and she's sitting on a lounge chair and I'm standing up and kind of in the middle of the patio. And then I start to tell her, oh my God, babe, you're not going to believe what happened to me. Raymond just came to me. The minute I said that, I got another download. But this time, I'm in the middle of the patio and I didn't have anything to hold me up. So I just had to squat down and hold myself like this. And again, I just started freaking bawling. I have all this energy. Instantly, I had this vision of we were sitting at a table. And it was Raymond and I. And we were in like another realm, like another dimension, like another reality. And we're having a conversation. And he says to me, and then it was almost like an event. Like I went in there, I saw it, and then I went out. So the event was Raymond was sitting across from me, and he said the words, and then I'm going to give you these 2 stickers, and then you're going to put it on, and then that's going to be part of your... And then I just kind of faded out. What the hell is that? So basically, Raymond was showing me that the event that happened to him was pre-planned before we even came into this life, and it was part of a much bigger picture. And the picture was, the point of that was, it was part of my spiritual evolution, and it was a critical major role in my spiritual evolution. The reason I say that is because my wife and I have no ill. Raymond was killed. Raymond was killed right here. Literally, we found him right there in my room. And this is his room, I'm sorry. So he was shot in my house. He had this side entrance right here. There's a door right here. But he was literally killed right where I'm standing, right where I'm sitting right here. It's pretty traumatic when you come home and find your kid dead on the floor. That's another story for another day. But the funny thing about it, when we found Raymond, I literally thought he was sleeping. We didn't know he was dead. And it was such an eerie, it was weird in the sense that it could have gone a million times worse. And as crazy as this sounds, it was as unimpacting as it could have been, if that makes any sense. It was a very, it just wasn't horrific, man. We could have walked in, shit could have been way worse, but it wasn't. It was about as peaceful as you could imagine. I walked in, I thought he was sleeping, and I just kept walking to the living room. I put my stuff down. I said, he's sleeping again during the day, or, whatever. I didn't know what to think. So that's how calm the situation was when he was actually dead. So I really feel that his passing was planned on a much bigger scale. Back to my spiritual evolution thing, my wife and I, we've given this a lot of thought. And to be honest with you, we have no ill will towards the person or people who did this. We just don't. If that person ever is found and we go to court and this and that, honestly, I don't wish any ill will. Quite the contrary. I almost feel sorry for that person or the people who did this, because obviously they don't have love in their heart. And for them to do something like this, you have to be pretty dark, pretty there's something not right inside you when you're going to do this kind of stuff to another human being. So the point is, for me as a parent, and Karina, as us as parents, to be able to forgive the person who did this, and not only forgive them, but believe it or not, pray for them, because they have families, they have people who love them as well. I like to think this way. You may call me naive and dumb, and that's okay too, but this is what I feel. The person who did this wasn't, I like to think, they weren't born bad. But you don't know what their situation is. You don't know if they had shitty parents, shitty environment, shitty upbringing. You really don't know. And for me to have any ill will towards the people or person who did this, or want harm to them, come to them, is really just, it makes me no different than that. This is the way I see it. Because those actions are low vibrational thoughts. They're low vibrational intentions. And I really believe that our thoughts are very powerful, and we must always maintain high level and pure thoughts. And so for me to have, for my wife and I, to have any ill will towards whoever the party or parties are or were, in my opinion, really makes us no different. So if we have the ability to forgive as the person who did this as parents, I think that sends a strong message to other people. Because that's what we have to do. I mean, how are we going to change the world if you don't open up your heart and just open up your heart, man. Just open up your heart. So I don't want to get sidetracked, but that's the lesson that Raymond had taught me, that it's part of a much bigger picture. And the funny thing is, after the funeral, we were sitting down, and there was a friend of ours was sitting here. This person had just retired, and they were, I don't know how old they were, but the point is, this person said, I really need to change. After this funeral, I feel like I really need to change my life. And we said, why? What happened? And the person said, I couldn't believe so many nice things were said about such a young man. I want people to say stuff like that at my funeral. Give me a second. And so think about that. Raymond was a 23-year-old kid, and here's a person who's probably 55, 60 years old, and they walked away with something from Raymond, and she didn't really even know Raymond, to be honest. So, and there's a lot of other stories like that. Like complete strangers were coming up to me and telling me stories about things how Raymond. This lady said Raymond saved me from losing my house. Another kid said Raymond paid for my mortgage and bought me groceries so many times, and people I didn't even know. And so when you hear kind of stories like that about your kid, it's very heartwarming. Raymond never told us that stuff. He never told us he did all these good things for all these people. But it was pretty overwhelming to hear that about your kid. You know, that's a really nice thing, that he did so many nice things and he left a footprint in everybody's heart. That helped out a lot. But you know, back to the story is that it was so. As crazy as it sounds, I really feel to a large degree 99% healed per se inside. Of course, I'm always going to miss him, but that was the first time Raymond came to me. He came to me about two, three more times since then. I'll tell you another one. So the one I just told you happened in December of 2017. This other one was really interesting. This happened maybe about 6-8 months ago. So there's about 4 or 5 stories, and I'll just tell you this one because it's fresh in my mind. So I was in the restroom. Now the number 4 always reminds me of Raymond. So I was in the restroom, and then I saw on my tile, you know, like kind of the shapes almost like the number 4, and it was weird. So I looked at it and I was like, that looks like 4. So I looked away, I looked again, I looked away. I even literally went like this. I scratched my eyes. I did it like 3 or 4 times. And I said, is that the number 4? That's kind of weird. So I was standing up doing my business. So when I turned around and I started to walk towards the sink to wash my hands, I had this voice in my head. It said soft connection. That's all it said, soft connection. And then all of a sudden I got like this voice and it says, Jimmy, I'm coming to you because you're one of the few people that I can come to and you get it. So here's a message. At that time, I was washing my hands and then I started walking out. I turned off the light and then I saw a view of like I was looking down at Raymond and he was like kind of like in a room. But the room had like seemed to be like a glass block wall. So it kind of went like this and then it went like that. So there was a corner and I was looking from above. And then here was Raymond and he was kind of going like this and then like that, letting me know that he's kind of still there. And then we were on the other side of the wall. But the funny thing about it is that the wall was about yay thick and it was like smoked glass, you know, when they smoke it, almost like glass block. And then he told me that on this side, they're very strict with their rules. There's a lot of things that I cannot do, but I can do unlimited amount of little things. So he told me that. After that, I had a vision. It just kind of like popped in my mind. So I saw a picture of it was a picture of me on top, and then it was a dotted line. I'm doing this like if I'm writing it down, but I'll do it for you. So it was a dotted line, and it was dotted line here, and then it was Karina sitting at a desk talking on the phone. It was a silhouette, but I knew that it was Karina. A dotted line going to Karina, and then a dotted line with another dude on the desk, which was his brother, Raymond's brother Daniel, and then it was several dotted lines, and it was this big, all these people like a family tree. And he told me, tell mom to tell my brother to tell the family the following. And he says, if they hear a song or they hear anything, you know, they find something of mine, any little thing that reminds them of me, it's me on the other side. And I want you to know that. I want them to know that. Because he's been trying to contact them and I guess they weren't picking up on the signals. And the funny thing is, and this is really interesting because Raymond wouldn't say this in person. He says, tell them I'm very respectful of their religious beliefs and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but please let them know what I just told you. Raymond wouldn't say that in real life. He'd be like, yeah, I don't care what you believe, and I'm telling you this is the way it is. Not to be disrespectful, but he wasn't going to be overly respectful because it's family. You know, you tell them what you want to tell them, and that's that. So for Raymond to say that, to stress that I respect their religious beliefs, but please let them know that, is really interesting because, again, Raymond wouldn't normally do that, especially to his brother. You talk to your brother the way you talk to, the way you talk to your brother. So I thought that was really interesting. So then Karina called him and said, hey, and then it's funny because she actually told all of his friends and she got all these responses. Oh my God, Raymond came to me here, Raymond came to me there, Raymond came to me there, and so it was incredible, all the people that responded to that. I mean, how do you not change your whole view of the world? What, in the sense that the stuff that we were never taught growing up, how this stuff really exists. And so that's why, once again, I said this once, I'll say it again, I really don't believe in actual death per se. I believe the physical body dies, but the spirit lives on. And so that, it's literally completely changed my life. I'm super duper optimistic. I feel like Raymond's with me all the time. And I said this before, of course I miss him, but he's with me every single time. And there'll be times where, like, I'll hear a song and then I'll think of Raymond, and then I get what's called spirit chills, and literally, like, my whole entire body kind of like just tingles. And that's been happening for a while now. And when I did some research, they said that, that's kind of like your spirits talking to you. That's how they communicate with you. I totally believe that 100%. There's no way I cannot not believe that. And if you saw my other video of when I was on the side of my house, at the very end, when I was talking about people waking up and this and that, I don't know if you remember, but there was like I'm going to call it an angel, but there was a beam of light as I was wrapping up the video. It just came down like that. And it's in the video. You got to watch it. And you can even see the screen change. But I swear to you on everything, I believe that. The other day, I was laying here with my daughter. We were just talking, hanging out. And right around here, I saw like a flash of light, and I think it was Raymond. It's crazy stuff, man, crazy stuff. So you gotta believe. I think these are really important times right now. People are really opening up and changing the way that they view reality, changing that the way they view themselves, which is, I think, critically important. The most important thing we need is to change the way we see ourselves and see ourselves for what we really are, which is true energetic beings in these meat suits. So anyways, I can go on and on, but I wanted to share that with you. I have some other pretty awesome stories about another dear friend of mine who had passed away of cancer about 2 years before Raymond. His story is phenomenal as well. So again, I'm wrapping up these videos, and sorry it took so long to get this one out, but I hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks, guys. Bye.